Adam Perry here, and I am going to very briefly go over tonight's 5-game NHL DFS slate. It's a small slate. We have smaller contests with baseball going, but there is still money to be made, and there is still process to be learned. And as we always say, process over picks, process over results. So you can always get reps in, always refine your process. It's good for all sports. It's good for next year. It trains that brain in the DFS mindset. So let's go over it. I did catch the end of Sheets' content. And if you saw that, you got an idea of what we're going to do here. Instead of using Sheets' projections, I'll just use Goldie's to change it up a bit. But we'll see who we get to on DraftKings, running contest sims for the flagship. And yeah, you may have a little idea before. But before we go any further, there are the proverbial prompts. Like and subscribe to this video to get more content like this. There's so much going on this channel that you can learn and hone your DFS and betting game with. So like and subscribe and check out TrueDFS.com. We've got great premium content, Goldie's projections, Sheets' projections that you got a little preview to. We've got the premium Discord. We've got the pay dirt model. That's great for DFS and for betting. We've got Ace Dukas' NASCAR model, all of Brandon Cruz's content. Bobby's doing stuff behind the paywall now. There's just so much to get at. You could get a trial and check it out. You could jump in and just subscribe. The price is not much more than just buying all those tools a la carte. It's like $20 more for the whole package than you'd pay just for SaberSim alone. So I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Just want to do something here to get it running on both screens, and let's go. Okay. So I just want to change my projection chats. We saw Sheets do it with his. Let's do it with Goldie's. You know, some people like to manage these by averaging them. That is something you can consider. There are debates on if you should or shouldn't. I'm not going to get into it, but it is something to consider if you average SaberSim or average Goldie's, or average Sheets. There are reasons for and reasons against. So, okay, but let's go ahead and build. It's a small slate. I don't really think, I mean, there's some of these I'm just not going to play anyway. And I see no reason to build them. I don't want these 3-man stacks, really. I'm going to build them, and if I built them, I'd take them out. So then why am I even building them? Now, you could say, well, because you want to get the best stacks in there anyway, and you want the 4- and 5-man stacks that grade out the best. But we're running contest sim, so we're going to get an idea for where every lineup grades anyway. So, you know, my personal preference is to run them with just lineups we're going to play and grade the lineups we're going to play and not bother grading lineups we'd never play anyway. And if we have more of the stacks we're going to play in the pool of 5,000, there's just a better chance of us getting to something we like. One of the nice things now is SaberSim alerts you when there's projection updates. That was that alert right there. Okay, we'll let it get to 5,000. It's pretty quick. After this, maybe we'll look at what the top bets are. We went 0 for 2 yesterday in the top pay dirt model bets, but there's so many in there. The models had like a 5%, I think James said, ROI on the year. So pretty good on how it's doing with props this NHL season. And we've had success looking at the top 2 every day. So, okay, the sim is running, and we've got it. So now if we look at our top 20 lineups sorted by Saber score using Goldie's projections, we get to a ton of Montreal and about 50-50 on the onslaughts versus 4-man. I mean, I'm pretty happy with this. Now, the only thing I do, if I wasn't running a sim, is I'd go here and maybe change my Montreal exposure. You could do that by asking for uniques. You could do that by just cutting this off. So you could say, give me at most 25%, something like that. But let's keep it at 100 because we're going to run the sims. Now we have a much more diverse spread. San Jose, they look terrible, huh? Except for the 7 goals they scored that were like all correlated. in their last game. That was unbelievable. That slate had like a 7 to 8 game, and I'm sorry, we are sorted by contest sim. That slate had like a 7 to 8 game and an 8 to 5 game. It was just unbelievable amounts of scoring. So okay, it's saying get leverage with Montreal. I mean, I tend to like Montreal in DFS just because of the way their scoring operates, and they have full correlation on their even strength 1, and they're cheap. You can make all the cases for them, but I think it's a little too much, right? So let's say give us at most 40% Montreal. And then we have a nice diverse portfolio. Got 40% Montreal, 40% Detroit, 35 San Jose. So all these leverage spots, right? Then you get to a chalkier Edmonton, a little bit of New Jersey, Minnesota. I mean, I'm pretty good with this. So, imagine we're doing this when the projections are as sharp as possible, 10 minutes before lock. We got ownership refined. Our contests, our field ownership's refined. And I got my contest uploaded, and I save it, and I'm good, right? I send it off. And that's what I play. Now, these games are at 6 Central, then 8:30 and 9. So what you could do, right, and what you should do is you should see, like, how are these Edmonton stacks doing with the rest of their lineup? Do you want to get on more San Jose with them? Vice versa, if these San Jose ones, if you got stuff going well in the early games, I mean, you may want to get more chalky with them to get higher projected teams if you're doing well already. So something to consider, and I would say consider highly. In 2025 DFS is tough. It's really hard. There's not a lot of edges, but that edge of late swap matters. And so I highly recommend adjusting your lineups based on how the early performance goes. And you'll have that information. So that's how I'd run it if I was running for today. Let's go to the pay dirt model and see what the top bets are. We've been doing like shot on goals and assists. There's props in a lot of categories. So let's see the best shot on goal prop. Look for an edge on the over. Now this gives you a 34% edge. We can't expect that kind of ROI. But we can expect maybe about a 5 to 10% ROI. I think the year, James said the model is performing at about 5% ROI, something like that. So we're pretty happy with how the model is going. The top bet, though, here is Brian Rust. And I think that's plus 115 in American odds to go over 2.5 shots. So I would post that, and you could keep, if you're a member and you subscribe, you get access to all of these. See if some long shots and assists. See like what the top assist bets are. Let's see if an under looks better. Here you go. And an under. Victor Arvidsson, under an assist in that Edmonton game. If you're playing a lot of Edmonton and you got Arvidsson in your lineup, here's a hedge if you so choose to do so. But yeah, that's how the model works. Those are the top bets in the model for today in those two categories. We've got bets in points and shots blocked as well. So check it out. Check out TrueDFS.com after you like and subscribe, and get in on a trial or those core packages. It's like $20 more than SaberSim would on its own, but you also get Goldie's projections, Sheets' projections, premium Discord, the pay dirt model, so many things. So check that out, and good luck on tonight's slate.